it's me, Renee. I'm back. So, I have another book haul for you. Some of these books I kind of ordered and then came. I suppose when you order something, they come. That's kind of how it works. But yeah, so I like first I didn't really plan to do another haul, but then kind of became haul-ish, kind of big haul-ish length, no amount. Like I think like if you bought one or two books a week, would you? Well, 1 week. Would you then do a haul on it? I suppose you could. That would just be a very short video, but it could be done. It's not like you can't do it. But yeah, I suppose often I end up kind of like doing longer hauls or like hauls with multiple books, and that's what I'm doing today. And yeah, so some of these, as I said, were like kind of like uh, books that I ordered that kind of I planned to buy. Some of these were impulse buys, and yeah, I'm just kind of gonna talk to you about how as I go through them really. So I have two modes that goes together. Squirrel Girl. So this is number 4 and number 3. So I read Squirrel Girl number 1 just the other week, last week. Yeah, last week. Loved it so much. I suppose I heard about Squirrel Girl around like the internet, like the internet. Um, and Squirrel was actually also supposed to be. I think yeah, she was also actually cast. There was supposed to be in this Young Avengers, or like supposed to be this Marvel TV show that didn't happen, and Squirrel Girl was supposed to be part of that. That didn't happen. But yeah, I'm kind of like for Squirrel Girl sounds kind of interesting, and I was kind of more like I saw a video with I would say Dan. I don't know why I'm thinking Dan. Nathaniel from Council Geeks. I love their videos. They do videos on fandom and both movies, TV series, often with the LGBTQ aspects because uh, they are genderqueer, and yeah, so they recommended this series as being like lots, very lots of heart and just so lovely and just unique and fun. And yeah, yeah, I just read the first comics. I suppose maybe the second one is awful, but like the first one was just so good. So I'm thinking it's probably difficult, probably not like this. The second one's gonna be bad. Well, the third one's gonna be bad. So yeah, I have the third and the fourth. And yeah, so when I need a little something that's not too long and lighthearted, I'll pick up these. Then we have Swordstone Table, Old Legends, New Voices. So this is actually an anthology. Hadn't heard about it at all. I saw it randomly in a bookstore. Uh, it has stories by Alexander Chi. Haven't heard of they at all. Pretty Tuber, Rushani Chokshi, Sive Doyle, Maria Dava Headley, Asuma Sanat Khan. Yeah, and now we're just mentioning all the offers because why not? Ken Liu, Alex Segura, Nisi Scholl, S. Zainab Williams. I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce that first name. Rice, Anthony Rapp. Your last name is Rapp. Okay. Sarah McLean, Sylvia Moreno Garcia, Jessica Plummer, and Daniel M. Lowry. So some of these I heard back, some of them I haven't. But yeah, so it's a mix as you kind of would expect of Arthurian legends, but it's kind of retold. I suppose to say obviously, but it's not always obviously. Sometimes it's anthologies stick to stuff. But yeah, so this is Arthurian legends retold. I think all the queer aspects, or at least some of the new queer aspects. I know one of them has Merlin and Arthur in modern day being lovers, and that's cool. And there's like one Gilded Age Midwest, 80s New York, uh, and yeah, lots of different places and settings and stuff. And yeah, I love Arthurian stuff. I love the TV series Merlin, and yeah, whenever something's offering, I'm kind of like, cool, I want to pick it up. And yeah, this just seems so interesting. So yeah, I picked it up. Then we have Jane in Love by Rachel Givney. So yeah, being that I work in a bookstore, sometimes I'm kind of not, if like normal customers are coming in the store, I'm like, okay, nothing to do, the store is clean. I'll browse. I'll just browse. I'll just look and search and see if there's anything cool in the English department. Like we have a reseller gardeners that we order English from, and so I like sometimes I like write in for sale, or I kind of search for witches or love stories and such like stuff I want to see if there's anything cool with. And then one day I typed in time travel because I love time travel, and I found this Jane Austen time travels to her present. So it's kind of so cool, like having a real person. But like, I love time travel, as you might know, at least you know now. And I just love it for so many different aspects. What I not really like when you time travel to a past and you meet like a famous person. I think that's just so cool to like see how different authors will view this character or how they imagine him. So cool. But here, having Jane Austen in modern day, that's also quite cool. I suppose kind of lost in Austen ish, just like with Austen and not Jane. So yeah, yeah. No, I'm sorry, and not Elizabeth. But yeah, this just sounds so cool. Also, cute, beautiful cover. And yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is actually a debut book, so that's cool. It's also actually the first in series. No, sorry, first in series. It's actually the Australian offer, so fun to have non-UK, non-US offer. So yeah, I'm gonna move on because books. Then actually, you know, what, I'm just gonna do them inside. There. So I have three books here that kind of goes in the same pile. So yeah, I think I said this. Maybe I haven't. I think I did, but yeah. Anyway, if you're new to this channel, you might be. My name is channel name Librarian of Alexandria, both because I love history. Well, if to a degree I love history. I'm sad that the Library of Alexandria was burned down, but also I'm a librarian by education. I don't work anymore at the moment, but still. And actually, this year, from month, from January till like June, I actually had an internship in a library, and it was just so cool to go there more or less every day and kind of learn how stuff worked and stuff. And yeah, we did have internships. Like in the study, we had like internships every year, like included in the study. But like after I finished my bachelor's degree, I haven't really gotten my foot inside a library. Like as a employer, I've applied, but haven't gotten a job in a library. But I got a job. I got an internship, which is I suppose in a way a next best thing. And kind of so through the library, through the internship, I got actually to do a few courses to kind of like learn some stuff about different techniques and different library stuff and stuff like that. And yeah. So one of the things I did a course on readers advisory. So this is kind of a reader's advisory, like the main book by Joyce G. Serix. So she wrote like this Bible of like how to recommend books in the 1980s. Like, of course, well, readers advisory has been a thing for a long time, but it hasn't really been a thing that's structured until the 1980s. And so it's kind of goes more into like how do you get people to find, how do you help people really who want to get stuff to read, like if you ask them what do you want to read and they're like I don't know, maybe like maybe you want to get them to read, maybe they come to the library and they ask for book X. Book X is has a 1 year waiting list, then you can try to ask them, what do you like about books and book X? And then say, well, this one has a long waiting list, but book Y, A, and B are similar in this and this and this way. So it's kind of like recognizing how to, how to kind of communicate and how to understand what people like to read and how to get them to read different stuff. And yeah, like that really. And it's also kind of actually easy, kind of good tool to have. Like, of course, people think that librarians or also people who like books read all the books, like we have, like we read all the books we have, or that we have read all the books in the bookstore that I work, or read all the books in the library. Like, that's not possible. We don't have that much time. Even the librarians who don't have a spouse and kids and everything like that, there's still not enough time to read all the books in the library, sadly. Like, even if you're a vampire, you can't read all the books in the world because there's new books every day, more or less every day. So it's impossible. So this tool also kind of gives you an idea like how to recommend books. But kind of, even though like if you haven't read, like, say if I'm going to recommend someone crime books, I don't read that much crime. But if I talk to people I knew about crime, or if I could just kind of, if I read interviews about new crime books, if I read summaries, like, there's kind of also about like how to find information about books you don't really know yourself much about, kind of like to to be able to recommend everything and not just what you read yourself. So like, this is kind of like the main book for that tool, Reader's Advisory Service in a Public Library. So like, if you want to be better at recommending books to a friend, if you're a librarian, if you're working in a bookstore and you want to help people find books more, check this out. And then there's also like different subgenres. So we have Reader's Advisory Historical Fiction, like how to talk about historical fiction and recommend that. And then you have Reader's Advisory Teen Literature. And I think maybe I also ordered one with romance, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I have these three at the moment. And yeah, so that's cool to have, really. So yeah, I don't really plan to like do a master's or like do a PhD, but like I like to learn. So like, if I find good books that like non-fiction book that kind of works within the profession field, I'll read them and do notes for them. But yeah, I won't really do any on a master stuff like that. No, I don't want to do a master's. I haven't done one master's. So like, this is kind of like me trying to be better, like in my field. So that's mostly the way, like, self-study. Well, it is a self-study. It's no, not this thing about it. But yeah. Then we have, sorry. And then we have Hexaoxone by Stacey Walls. This is as you can maybe guess, Norwegian book. Well, translated, it's an arc. I get arc in my bookstores sometimes. This is originally called The Familiars. It's a book set in the witch hunting era in England, Lancaster, England. And so it's both, I think it both has like witch hunting aspects, but I think maybe it's mostly mostly, I think it's mostly crime-ish elements. So it's kind of like feminist, like, oh, if females are doing good for themselves, they have to be witches. And like, oh, it's their fault, they're witches. I was like, no, they're just doing good for themselves. And so this just sounds so cool. And yeah, it's historical fiction, as I said. It's set in 1612. And yeah, curious to get to it. Then we have Stiklingen by Audur Ava Olafsdottir. So as you might, I suppose maybe not, but you might have guessed from the last name, this is an Icelandic book. Well, it's not a book, but like author is Icelandic, so it's, well, if a book is Icelandic, like, does it have to be like a book that's translated? Is it then that book, or is it like translated from that? Yeah, I mean. But yeah, I actually got this for my birthday. It was a few weeks ago, so it's a bit belated for my art. It's very nice. It says on the cover here, "slow and beautiful," which like a book that's described as slow. It's not really for me. So like, oh, okay. But on the back it says like it's very funny, touching, poetic. Don't like poetic either, but like it's also supposed to be very funny and poignant, and like it's a gift. And also like by like the back, it's kind of like this 22-year-old who's kind of like flailing and doesn't really know what she's gonna do with her life. And it kind of seems interesting, and also like reading different nationalities is cool as well sometimes. So and also like I got it. It's a birthday gift. I'm not gonna pamp it. I'm not gonna yeah. It's cool. Oh yeah, something like look down to it. I don't know. And then we have sorry, Walt Disney, the biography. So yeah, I love Disney. I haven't really done anything video Disney related in a while, really. I suppose I might do that soon. But yeah, I very much like Disney. And I thought, a biographies with Disney. Why not? One of the non-fiction stuff I really enjoy is biographies. Like lately, I've been kind of wanting to go into more non-fiction, but what I often just kind of strike directly to is essays and biographies. I suppose they're kind of often easiest, at least for me. But yeah, so this is it's a bit of a chunker. It's 600 pages, but I mean Disney had a long life, and I think it had an interesting life. So yeah, so this interesting. Then we have some more books here. Again, a moment. I have to move a bit. Sitting a bit weird. And then we have a book that I've been uh, waiting for a long time to get, and I finally got it. I suppose in the nick of time. Well, I suppose you can read a book when you want. It's not like you have to read by that in that time, but what have you? I have Loki, Where Mischief Flies by Mackenzie Lee. So it's a Marvel kind of official Marvel book. So Mackenzie Lee has been asked by Marvel to write a book set in the Marvel universe, kind of like with Loki. And yeah, so it's in the Marvel canon, but it's kind of like it's YA Loki. And yeah, I like Loki. I suppose a lot of people do. I don't really think I don't know anyone who doesn't like him at all. And yeah, that still. Then we have. Yeah, I just got put off the sticker. I haven't done it before because I just haven't. Blackout. And Anthology. Is that Anthology? Yeah. By Darren Clayton, Nick Stone, Tiffany Jackson, Ashley Woodfolk, Andrew Thomas, and Nicola Yoon. So it's all about these black teens in New York, and they're kind of it's a blackout, so they're kind of trying to get to this party. And I think at the end they will meet at the party, but like I think you can just read one or two books. So I don't think you need to read them all, but I think they kind of like I think believe at least that they kind of at the end they kind of come together, they all meet. So that's cool. Also, this book has been optioned by Obama's to become a Netflix movie. So cool, cool. Also, yeah, just a lot of these offers I really enjoy. So very excited to get to this one. Also not that long really. So yeah, cool. Cool. How many times can I say cool? I don't know. Let's count. Then we have Princesses Behaving Badly, which is kind of like in the vein of no, not Good Night Stories. It's kind of in the same vein of names. It's kind of in the same vein as that book Rejected Princesses by Jason Morat, because that one takes like different stories from of feelings around the world, or like kind of too harsh for Disney-fied animation and stuff. But yeah, this one kind of does the same. It's I suppose it's a bit shorter and it's more written. I think there are pictures. yeah, I mean it's like the pictures here and there, but it's more text based. But yeah, and it's divided uh, into parts: warriors, usurpers, schemers, survivors, par- partiers, partiers. What's princesses who love to live it up? Oh, partiers. Sometimes reading is a party. Yeah, man, woman, enthusiasts. And yeah, just and also this cover, so cool. So yeah, I just love to get this book. Then we have today, tonight, tomorrow. Honestly, I think I think I heard about this one for a long time. I think it came out last year originally, 2 years ago, last year. Let me check it out. It came out last year, yeah. I think for some reason I think this has time travel in it. Maybe it's simply a romance. No, it's simply a romance. Anyway, it's a YA romance. Maybe it's time travel, and also blue cover, which I love. Also, kind of cool that you have a flip. I really like the flips. So yeah. Then we have another nonfiction, a history. Sorry, a history of the world in 21 Women by Jenny Murray. So this is a nonfiction of 21 females of in the world. So like 21 females who changed the world. And yeah, and oh, this one has some pictures in there, so that's quite cool. So yeah, I love me some feminists or yeah, female centered fiction. Well, fiction and non-fiction. Sorry, non-fiction I meant. But yeah, and then we have The Husband Hunters by Social Climbing in London, in New York, by Anne de Courcy. So this is a non-fiction book about the rich ladies in the New World, in the colonies, When did they stop saying that? Well, I suppose depends on who you ask. But like rich heiresses in 1880s, 1870s in New York, in the US, who kind of wanted to become nobility, so they went to London to find husbands and become noble. And yeah, this is non-fiction around that. It says also on the back, to both serious social historians and Downton-ish aristo fanciers, it will be pure catnip. And yeah, I've just think maybe I've heard about this book from the Badass Woman of History podcast, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, that's I was about to say that's that. I actually have sorry, a bit close. Hi. No, I actually have one more. So this one I found just kind of randomly browsing again, looking in the bookstore. Give a moment, and I found this just beautiful art. But it's also so it says I don't know if you can see it, but it says fantastic tales of nothing. Isn't that a great title? Fantastic Tales of Nothing. Nothing. It's just, I love that title so much. It's just so cool. I'm not quite sure like if it's meant for teens or maybe it's meant for kids. I'm not quite sure. But it has beautiful art. And also, I'm not sure if it's meant to be first in the series or not. But anyway, that's the first book. It's not like second or something. I think maybe it's a debut by the writers, and yeah, it just looks so breathtaking. The art and also just the title alone. Of course, you have to write fantastic tales of nothing. I mean, if that doesn't make you buy something, what does? What does? I'm just gonna ask you, what the f does? And yeah, so that's my recent haul. Also, a little tease, I have a library haul up for you soon. I went to a library again. And yeah, bye. Bye.